Gavin Newsom is telling Donald Trump, you want to talk about me? Say it to my face. Come to California, stand up here and say it to my face, Donald. Governor Gavin Newsom of California knows that when it really comes down to it, Donald Trump is a paper tiger. And Gavin Newsom's willing and ready to debate anyone. So he's like, let's do it in public. You want to brawl? You want to come after me? I'm here. Say it to my face or shut up. And here's what Governor Newsom wrote. He posts, okay, Donald Trump, as you prepare to assume the presidency once more, I invite you to come to California. The hundreds of thousands of Americans displaced from their homes and fearful for the future deserve to see us all working together in their best interest, not politicizing a human tragedy and spreading disinformation from the sidelines. That's brilliant right there. That's how you handle it. Donald Trump making all of these false and defamatory statements about Gavin Newsom focusing on smelt fish over dealing with fires, all BS, all bogus, internet troll behavior, and Governor Newsom saying, I'm not an internet troll, okay? I am someone who is a leader, and you want to say this stuff? Say it to my face in front of the people of California. This is how you have to deal with Donald Trump. You have to stand up to him. You have to call him out, and you have to be willing to have these very public debates and discussions and show that ultimately Donald Trump backs down. Have you ever seen Donald Trump in a deposition? He's scared of the lawyers who aren't Governor Newsom. Trump backs down. Have you seen Donald Trump in any type of setting with other world leaders? Trump is scared of them. Don't even get me started on seeing Donald Trump next to Vladimir Putin. He like shrivels up. He is a scared person because he's got imposter syndrome. He knows that this whole thing is a fake shtick that works on, as he says, I love the uneducated Americans who he lies to, but he knows that he is a complete fraud. Let me just read for you the letter of Governor Newsom right now. Sorry, I went on that rant, by the way. I wanted to read you this letter. Here's what it says. It's from Governor Newsom, the office of the governor, to Donald Trump. Dear Mr. President-elect, it was just 6 years ago that we toured the devastation of the Camp Fire in the town of Paradise, the deadliest wildfire in California's history. That day, you also visited the Woolsey Fire near Malibu, which took the lives of 3 residents and displaced tens of thousands. Communities, traditions, places wiped out in a matter of hours. You witnessed firsthand the heartbreak and destruction that all too many places across this nation have faced from more frequent and more severe natural disasters, fires, hurricanes, and floods. Now, California is again facing one of the most destructive fires in our history. On Tuesday, January 7th, a massive windstorm hit Southern California, with hurricane-force gusts nearing 100 miles per hour in Los Angeles County. Southern California has seen virtually no rain this winter, and when those winds swept through the parched landscape, tiny ignitions became raging wildfires. Those fires, including the Palisades, Eatonhurst, Lydia, Woodley, and the Kenneth fires, have devastated the greater Los Angeles area, even in the face of Herculean work by legions of experienced firefighters. Tens of thousands of acres have burned. Thousands have lost their homes and businesses. At least 10 people are reported to have died. The loss and devastation are horrific. We are thankful that President Biden has swiftly approved our major disaster declaration, a strong indication of the partnership California needs and appreciates with any federal administration. However, the threat to lives and property remains acute. Higher than normal winds of up to 70 miles per hour are still forecast for the next several days, and more extreme winds are likely early next week, with no change to dry conditions. As you prepare to assume the presidency once more, I invite you to come to California again to meet with the Americans affected by these fires. See the devastation firsthand and join me and others in thanking the heroic firefighters and first responders who are putting their lives on the line. In the spirit of this great country, we must not politicize human tragedy or spread disinformation from the sidelines. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, displaced from their homes and fearful for the future, deserve to see all of us working in their best interests to ensure a fast recovery and rebuild with respect and an open hand. That's exactly what you gotta do, folks.
So I recently found out that only 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy. Why is this alarming? Well, the single biggest predictors of how long you live and how good you feel while living is your metabolic health. There are lots of factors contributing to the metabolic health crisis, but the good news is that all of them are within our control. That's why I'm using Levels to better understand my own metabolic health and what I can be doing to improve. In the short term, I use Levels to optimize my energy levels during the day and manage weight. In the long term, I'm thinking about the many chronic diseases that are directly linked to metabolic health, including diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. Unlike calorie trackers, Levels is a health improvement app that uses AI-powered food logging and habit tracking like exercise, sleep, and nutrition to give you actionable insights for meaningful change. With continuous glucose monitoring and lab tests available, it offers a more comprehensive view to help you hit your health goals and stay accountable. There's so much information about health out there these days, and Levels helps you figure out what will be most impactful for you to focus on to improve your health and reach your personal goals. I personally learned that I was eating foods that were not supporting my health. Levels helped me optimize my meals, focusing on the foods I respond to best. For example, I learned that my morning oatmeal was not ideal and was actually causing me to feel lower energy after eating in the mornings. Level helped me learn by adding protein and fiber to that meal, I was able to make it much more balanced. Levels is the best place to go to get a comprehensive view of your health, hit your goals, and stay accountable. Right now, Levels is offering our listeners an additional 2 free months of the Levels annual membership when you use our link, levels.link/Midas. That's levels.link/MEIDAS. I don't know how long this offer will last, so if you've been interested in learning more about your metabolic health, now is the time to get started.
At the same time Governor Newsom was doing that, he was also thanking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada. Justin Trudeau said, "I spoke with Governor Newsom last night. We both know that Canada and the United States are more than just neighbors. We're friends, especially when times get tough." And then Justin Trudeau went on to talk about the close relationship between California and Canada offering some of its incredible firefighting resources to the state and to Los Angeles. Within the state, Governor Newsom responds, "Grateful for our Canadian neighbors as they lend a helping hand in our time of need." Because that's what you do with allies. You don't threaten them and say we don't need them or we're going to make them the 51st state. You work with your allies. I want to share this with you as well. This was during the fire. As the fires were raging, Governor Newsom was asked by Anderson Cooper to respond to Donald Trump's various lies and attacks, where Donald Trump right away was saying this is all Newsom's fault. Newsom didn't sign a Water Restoration Act. Note, there's no such thing. Newsom not agree to sign anything like that. It was total and utter BS by Donald Trump. Trump kept on referring to Newsom as new scum, said that Governor Newsom cares more about smelt than people's lives. All total BS. But then you saw all the right-wing trolls and even like right-wing people parroting the disinformation while Governor Newsom was just trying to do his job. I want you to watch this moment right here. Let's play it.
Even asked this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Governor Newsom has never shied away from a battle. He's never shied away from a debate. He goes on Fox. He goes on and speaks to Sean Hannity, and he gives it back. I want to show this moment to you because to me, you know what I've been saying a lot lately, right? You know my acronyms. I go ABC, always be campaigning. And one of the other ones I use is DBD, Democrats be Democrats. And progressive policies work. While all these MAGAs want to attack California and attack other states that are led by Democratic governors, they usually have better education, better quality of life, lower mortality rates, longer lifespans, much more wealth. And one of the things that Gavin Newsom talks about here is, look, Sean Hannity, first off, you know, what are you trying to, you realize that blue states pretty much fund the red states? Here, I want you to watch this moment right here, because this is what we're going to need in the next 4 years. Play this clip.
This is the honest way to be the fourth largest economy in the world. What are you arguing for? Mississippi's economic policy? Is that, I mean, literally, that's what you're arguing for.
If I wanted,
the great Sam Brownback's Kansas policy? I mean, it was a debacle. No economic growth. 71% of the GDP in America are blue counties.
I would
71% of the GDP in America are blue counties. Progressive policies.
Okay, that are paying high taxes. And
71% of the country's wealth. 7 of the top 10 dependent states.
Let's say you're right.
States.
Let's say you.
No, we're subsidizing your states, Sean, because of your policies.
I'm in New York. You're not subsidizing anything for me.
But your philosophy.
I'm getting the hell out of New York, though. Mississippi, Alabama, I'm all for it over New York or California.
Yeah. I mean, I love Mississippi.
But what you say,
governor
I'm sure. Look, it's not personal.
I'll show you a few other portions of, I think, highlighting Governor Newsom's debating skills. Here, Governor Newsom. This was back in November of 2023, ish. And here he is, in this debate with DeSantis, defending Biden's policies that actually worked. And, and Biden fixing the issues that were caused by Trump. Watch this. Let's play it.
Results matter. Inflation now is down to 3.2%. Wages are up to 4.4%. The economy is booming, 5.2% GDP growth in the last quarter. Those are facts you don't hear on Fox News. 14 million jobs, 10 times more than the last. Let me move on.
That was the lightning round. Now, on March 31st.
And when Governor Newsom was asked during this debate and saying, oh, well, there's all this crime in California. Watch his response. He goes, it's higher in Florida. Here, play this clip.
And security, I would argue, is a prerequisite for the pursuit of happiness.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. We're near 50-year lows, down 55% violent crimes in the state of California from the 1990s. And I want to compare and contrast that with the issue in Florida that you didn't mention, and that's the murder rate. And let's broaden it more broadly. The issue is 7 of the top 10.
Those numbers were part of the murder rate.
7 of the top 10 murder rates in the United States of America are red states. He has a 66% higher gun death rate than the state of California. Has a higher murder rate. Go to places like Jacksonville. Go to places like Orlando. Go to places like Tampa. The murder rate's off the charts compared to cities like San Francisco. And you know what? Even more egregiously, Sean, and I think this is important, the American people deserve an answer from you, Ron. You had one of the worst mass shootings in American history, Parkland. 17 kids were gunned down, lives lost, 17 others, lives torn asunder. You had a young girl by the name of Jamie Gutenberg, whose father pleaded with you to do something about it. And you know what you did? You did the exact opposite. You made it easier for felons to get guns without background checks, without any training. These people pleaded with you, the parents and the families, to get tough on gun safety. And again, you made it easier for felons. He said of you, Ron, and I agree with him, after you signed that concealed carry bill, which increases the likelihood, Fred Gutenberg said, of more Jamies losing their lives and more Parklands, he called you weak, pathetic, and small. So with respect, I appreciate you're talking to police officers in the state of California. You may want to spend a little bit more time, not on the Ohio Trail and other places across this country. You may spend a little more time back in your home state and address the murder and gun violence in your own backyard.
So this is the slick politician. You put up the...
And finally, after Donald Trump was elected, Governor Newsom was very quick to come out with a statement and say California is not going to sit by if Donald Trump tries to threaten our state rights. If he's going to violate the Constitution, California is going to stand up. I'll play for you this clip. I want you to remember, too, that Governor Newsom held a special emergency session of the legislature in California to approve funds to file lawsuits and to ensure that the Constitution is protected against Donald Trump and that the people of the state of California are protected. Watch this.
We have a president-elect. And I'm one of those people, I revere the institution. I revere this country. I revere the presidency. And I want our president to succeed. And our job, my job, is not to wake up every single day and get a crowbar and try to put it in the spokes of the wheel of the Trump administration. And so again, in that spirit of an open hand, not a closed fist, that's how we want to proceed. That said, fourth point, I'm not naive either. And we're pragmatic. And we will stand firm. I am reminded, there's a great old poem about, the winds may howl, but I will not be swept away. This notion that we have to plant our feet. And I remember, I've been here long enough, having worked with the previous Trump administration. I'm not naive about those winds, and they did howl. We were involved in over 100, we were involved in specifically 122 lawsuits with the Trump administration. We know their playbook. We know what they're going to do. I talked a lot about the campaign, and I appreciated Kamala Harris's closing message about Donald Trump has an enemies list, and she said, have a to-do list. I said I would make it a modest addendum to that. So did Donald Trump. That to-do list is laid out in a 922-page document, of which there's 270 specific points that he has publicly supported in that Project 2025 document, which 75% of its authors, and there's a multitude of authors, worked with the Trump administration. None of us are naive when he said he knew nothing about it. That is a to-do list. That is a playbook. The Heritage Foundation and others backing that playbook. You build on that, not naive about what to anticipate.
Well, there you have it, folks. Powerful stuff by Gavin Newsom. Say it to my face, in other words, is what he's saying. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.